under more pressure, Jon Jones or Conor McGregor? And I'm talking about from a perspective of they're both returning. Regardless of why they were out, they're both returning. Conor McGregor and Jon Jones got something else in common, which is at one point in their respective careers, they were both ranked number one in the world pound for pound. So you're not only just talking about somebody that's coming back, you're talking about somebody that's coming back, but what does back mean? I know people who've come back to sport. That means they're now doing that sport again. They're on the team. They're part of it, and it's a good accomplishment. It's not what these two got to do to come back. These guys got to become champions to come back. Otherwise, they didn't come back, right? That's what they left. They left being the best fighter in the world. So that's what they got to return to. And I just want to know, who do you think has more pressure? It's a very different situation. Here, let's break some of this down. Conor McGregor, right? And this timeline is very interesting. He accepts the coaching role on The Ultimate Fighter opposite Michael Chandler. Now, Conor's first experience on The Ultimate Fighter is a lot different than most coaches had, and perhaps I could only see this with my own eyes because I had been in his shoes. But Conor was not expected by the organizers of the event to come in and take that coaching role real serious, to become part of those young men's journey. He was not expected to do that. There would be 10 practices a week if you're on The Ultimate Fighter. Between morning and afternoon, you got your days off. 10 a week. I'm sure the producers were hoping and possibly even made an agreement with Conor that he appear at 3 of them. Just so we can get some B-roll. We can use his name, we can do that, but we won't overwhelm you with this. You're a selfish fighter. We don't expect you one day to put on a jersey and be a selfless coach. Well, that's what he did. It's exactly what he did. Conor got into it. To everyone's surprise, maybe even Conor's. The next thing you know, not only is he only there three days a week, he's at all the workouts. Not only is he at the workouts, as the season went on, he's now running them. Hey guys, bring it in. Let's go work on this. Give him a leg. I can remember some balance drills that they did. Just sharing with you, it was different. And so when Conor came back on this one, it wasn't just about the publicity. Like, he genuinely enjoyed that experience. And when he got back, Danny Rubenstein put out a message. Now, Danny Rubenstein is a top manager behind the scenes. So when Danny put this message out, I haven't asked Danny, but my guess is, pretty confident I'm right, it was Danny's own guys that got burned. So what Danny said had happened is 3 guys, and he stated their names in a tweet, have been removed from The Ultimate Fighter. 3 guys, my guys that I got out there in Vegas, is how I interpret it, have been removed from The Ultimate Fighter so that 3 of Conor's personal guys can be put on. Now, I got to tell you, I could stop right there because I see nothing unusual about this. If Conor got in and then could spread it around a little bit, or even use that as part of his negotiation, hey, look, I'll come, but I need a few of my own guys out there too. I want to just leave home for 6 weeks. So bring a few of these guys. But that would be a very natural and very normal conversation to have. There would be nothing underhanded about it. You could see where Danny Rube would be worked up if he had 3 guys that were told the same thing, went there, thought their lives were going to have the opportunity of ever being changed, and they got yanked. You could see where everybody would be bothered. It would be very hard, at least from my perspective, to determine who was wrong in that situation. Okay. But it doesn't end there. That bothered Conor a lot. Not a little bit. It bothered him a lot that he stepped out. He stepped out to take all of this in and address it publicly. And Conor said, that is not true. I not only did not bring my own guys, and you can see where he might want to defend that, because if he did have some guys, he doesn't want them to get painted with this nepotism brush. He wants them to get recognized for working hard, sacrificing, and finally being part of this. Okay, great. That could be a little bit of a motivation. But moreover, Conor even said this. It wasn't just that I didn't bring my own guys. I never had anything to do, or would I, with getting 3 other guys that had an opportunity, having that taken from them. He did not want that. He did not want that out there. He stepped aside from coaching. He went to the media. He told him this one thing. It bothered him that much. So whatever the confusion is there, okay, fine. Conor went a little bit further in this, and he said, I'm just trying to get my own name back in the mix. Okay, great. Stop everything. Stop everything. That was an extremely rare peek behind the curtain. That was probably even a mistake. Probably something that Conor swallowed real deep and thought, I shouldn't have said that. I wished I wouldn't have said that. It was a very rare look behind the curtain. Red Painting Night is still real. The biggest star in this sport is still real. The opponent of this guy is going to make more money than he ever has in his career. Those things are still real. And Conor said, I'm just trying to get my own name back out of the mix. And there's a lot of truth to that. There's a humility that comes with that. But it's not anything that Conor has ever said before or that he would say. And I do think that you got a quick look behind the curtain. But now I just think we found it. Now we have our answer what this is about. Now we have our answer of, does Conor understand that? Being out with an injury. Does he understand that? Returning after, right? That it matters, that it affects it, that you're not a shoo-in. That just because you had multiple world championships and this guy doesn't mean if you guys meet up now that everything's going to be cool in the game, right? It's just, yes, it looks like Conor gets it. So now his reason for coming back, I think it's a little bit different. I think that you start to have a better understanding. Now let's just juxtapose that with Jon Jones's. Jon Jones came out, and it's very tough, right? I'm not proclaiming for you that Jon knows us the truth. I just am proclaiming for you that if you read something and you got it from Jon, you don't know if it's the truth. You just simply won't know. He comes out and he does an interview and says, I wasn't scared. He's talking about being at 205 pounds. He wasn't scared anymore. Quit watching tape on these guys. Quit staying up late at night worried about these guys. He wasn't scared. He said, so I wanted to go up to heavyweight where I could get that fear back. And I wasn't happy with what I was being paid. All right, boom. Why do you just say that? I mean, does he think that we forgot what he said 3 years ago when he left? Does he think we forgot that he never mentioned fear and watching tapes? I mean, right? Why not just say I wasn't happy with what I was getting paid? I don't know. Right? There's a certain way that you want to look, but I still would bring it to you that there could have been a glimpse of truth in that. There could have been something there that had a little bit to do with your motivation. But it's very different when you reveal what Conor revealed, which is this is a community that I identify with. And as the separation of competition, as the injuries, as age, as title opportunities, right, as these things get further and further, I get further away from my community. And I want back into the club. I want to remind the club that I'm part of it. I'm one of the boys. That's Conor's message here. It's an interpretation by me, but that's where I'm at with that. And I know what a powerful motivator that would be. You have Jon's situation which is still about public perception. I don't think that Jon said anything wrong there at all. I just don't know why he had to add and I wasn't happy with my pay. It was all about the pay, right? There was a mistake made. There was a mistake made. He didn't understand where life was going to go. He didn't understand how some of the judgments and court systems and things like this are going to work. He didn't understand what money was going to get in different directions. He thought he had enough money. Turned out he didn't. Haven't we all made that mistake? I mean, haven't we at some point all made that mistake? He thought he had more money and he misplayed his level of influence and power within the industry. He thought he was going to be able to put a foot down and everybody go, okay, wait, he's serious. And it was just one of those situations, so now he's going to return. I guess he's scared of Ciryl Gane. Am I supposed to interpret that? You're scared of Ciryl? Ciryl Gane, who's 1-1 in his last 2 and called you the GOAT and basically was drooling when asked about you. You're scared of him? I'm open to hearing that. Fair enough. What part? What is it that you've seen Ciryl Gane do that you haven't seen other opponents do? Like, what part of that is fearful? I would personally be interested in that. I don't have to know. But it is two very different approaches, right? Make no mistake, regardless of what's said, it's a money play on one. And make no mistake, whatever is said, it has nothing to do with money on the other. So which motivation do you think is more valid? And between those two athletes and their story and their return, who do you think is dealing with more pressure?